Ok, familia, pues aquí está Eddie. Lo que les voy a enseñar es cómo hacer nieve, pero la vamos a hacer a mano. Y aquí está ya la mezcla, así. Ahorita la vamos a mezclar y luego vamos a seguir. Ok. En la otra sección lo voy a hacer en inglés porque también se la quiero enseñar a mis amigos que obvio no hablan español. Ahorita volvemos. So this is the way we start out. This is our ice cream right here. That's what it's all about. And let me run down the ingredients. I'll do it very slowly if you guys want to write them down, and I'll repeat them. Or you can just rewind. Okay, so the most important thing, I use half and half. You can use heavy whipping cream, but this is just as fine and it's less expensive and you can find it easier. So you want 2 1/3 cups of half and half. That's 2 1/3 cups of half and half. And then you want 2/3 of whole milk. It has to be whole milk, preferably. If you're on a diet or something like that, you can use skim milk. God forbid you use that, but I prefer whole milk. Okay, so again, 2 1/3, half and half, 2/3 whole milk, half a cup of sugar. Okay, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, not the cheap stuff, the actual extract. That's what we're only going to use 1 teaspoon. It's very strong. And then just about a half teaspoon of cinnamon. All right. So let me get rid of this stuff and then we'll proceed. All right, guys. So here's a tip. So the way this process is going to work, you'll see, is we need a bowl within a bowl to make the ice cream. So before we mix this, I put this in here just in case it spills. There's something to catch it. Smart, huh? I have my moments. So here you go. It hasn't been mixed yet. So you don't have to mix it extremely thoroughly because we're going to do that later again anyway. But I like to mix it with a whisk like this. Just whisk. Get everything mixed. Okay? And then what's going to happen is this is going to chill in the fridge for 4 hours. Minimum 4 hours. Do not put it in the freezer just because you think, oh, it's going to get done sooner. No, that's not good. All right. I like to mix mine really thoroughly. You really kind of don't have to. Just when you see it, that everything's combined, you're set to go. So this is going to go in the refrigerator, wherever you think is coldest in your refrigerator, for a minimum of 4 hours. Sometimes I do it overnight. I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes it tastes better. It's creamier, but maybe that's just me, my imagination. Thanks, whisk. Haha! In the fridge it goes. Alright guys, so this has been chilling for 4 hours in my fridge. And there's one thing I wanted to clarify from the previous segment, is that what I gave you as a ratio for the base cream, which is the 2 1/3 of heavy whipping cream or half and half, and then the 2/3 of milk and a half cup of sugar. So that's the basic. And then what I did here was the vanilla and cinnamon. That's it. Very simple, okay? But you guys, the sky's the limit, wherever you want to go. So another thing I want to talk about is how we're going to keep this cool. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to add a layer around the ice cream bowl of sea salt, like that. Then I'm going to add a layer of ice all around. Now the chemistry of this is very interesting. You would think that wouldn't work, but it actually does, because what it does, it lowers the freezing temperature of water. So we're basically making very, very, very cold water. So it won't melt as fast, and it'll allow the ice cream to freeze a little faster before the ice melts. That's what the salt is for. So like that, and then more salt. And it's recommended to use rock salt but this is sea salt, and you can use sea salt as well. So another layer of sea salt, and then the next layer of ice goes in, like that. And I kind of figured out, I mean, I haven't taken chemistry class in a long time, but I kind of figured out that the ratio, if this ice was water, if it was melted, I think the ratio would be roughly 1/6 to 1/5 of salt to water. But I just do it by ear, and I do it in 3 layers. So you see, like that. Okay, and one more layer of sea salt. But it's gotta be some kind of crystallized salt. I mean, all salt is crystallized, but it's gotta be like this, like in rock form. Otherwise it won't work, okay? Great. So now, this is gonna start doing its thing, the salt and the ice, okay? And then, and this is the fun part, I make it a point to do this ice cream with everything I have at hand. No machines, no special utensils, just what I have at hand. And I try different inventions like this one here. This is what I'm trying today. We're basically trying to mimic the action of an ice cream machine or an ice cream churner, a mechanical one they used to use back in the day. So I have a masher, a potato masher, and I have a rubber spatula, and I tie them together with those wristbands, and we'll see how it goes. Because basically what you need is you need something to stir and something to turn the mixture. So let's start with that action. So you turn, you start turning, but then you also have to rotate. And we're just going to be doing this for a while. So if you have Netflix or Hulu or something like that, you have your iPad, just plop it on your table or on your counter and just keep working it. And I'm going to be doing this. An ice cream maker will probably take about 12 to 15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes if it's got a lot of fruit to do this. When you're doing it by hand, it depends, but don't go too fast. So just be consistent. Just circulate it and rotate it. And we'll be back, okay? Alright guys, so I've been doing this motion for about 15 minutes. You can see something happening already. This ice cream has already gotten a lot creamier, and it's kind of starting to rise. It's kind of hard to explain. Here, maybe you can see it better if I tilt it. One thing I do want to show you is the ice with the salt. There's liquid, and that water here, wow, it's really cold. That's actually, that water there is actually colder than the ice cubes. That's what the salt did. So I'm going to continue about 10 more minutes. Okay? Same motion. Alright. Okay, so once you start seeing some of this custard or this ice cream starting to freeze along the edges of the bowl, you are done. So this one I think I've been doing for about 35 minutes. Not constantly, I've taken a couple of breaks, but this is ready. So I know it doesn't look like ice cream right now, but trust me, what we need has already formed, and this water is like super cold. Yikes. It's pretty cold. So anyway, this is going to go in the freezer. I recommend overnight. You can actually have it after about 4 hours in the freezer. It needs to be covered with cellophane, like with plastic or with another lid, and that's what I'm going to do. I like to keep it overnight, and then tomorrow we're going to have this amazing ice cream. So there you go, homemade ice cream with no machines and some crazy inventions that I came up with. You know, I keep, you know, experimenting with different tools. So I hope you guys enjoy if you decide to make this. It's a lot of work, but it's very rewarding. So thanks. Bye.